The Audi Quattro didn't simply win races, it rewrote the rulebook. It proved that four-wheel drive wasn't just for trucks and off-roaders. It belonged on the world's fastest performance cars. But what if Audi had never retired the legendary Quattro? What if, instead of becoming a chapter in history, it simply kept evolving year after year until 2030? Today we're looking at exactly that. The Audi Quattro that never disappeared, and the machine it could have become after 50 years of uninterrupted evolution. To understand why the Quattro is so special, we have to go back to 1980. At the time, the performance car world was dominated by rear-wheel drive. If you wanted to build a serious sports car or rally machine, that was simply how it was done. Then Audi showed up. With something completely different. Permanent all-wheel drive. People thought they were crazy. The system would be heavier. Too complicated. Too expensive. It would never work in motorsport. Audi ignored the critics and entered the World Rally Championship anyway. What happened next became automotive history. The Quattro absolutely dominated. Drivers suddenly discovered they could accelerate out of corners earlier, attack gravel, snow and mud faster than ever before, and maintain astonishing levels of grip in conditions where everyone else struggled. Within just a few years, everyone else was copying Audi. The Quattro didn't simply win championships. It forced the entire industry to change. Then came Group B. Perhaps the wildest era motorsport has ever seen. Monsters producing over 500 horsepower. Massive wings. Explosive turbochargers. Cars capable of terrifying speeds on tiny forest roads lined with spectators. Among those legends stood one of the greatest of them all. The Audi Sport Quattro. Short wheelbase. Wide arches. Aggressive stance. One of the most desirable homologation cars ever built. When Group B ended, Audi continued refining Quattro technology for its road cars. The system became lighter. Smarter. Faster. Eventually appearing in everything from executive sedans to RS performance models. But imagine something different. Imagine Audi deciding the original Quattro deserved its own continuous evolution. No cancellation. No disappearing nameplate. Just one uninterrupted bloodline stretching from 1980 all the way to 2030. The late 1980s bring better turbocharging and stronger drivetrains. The 1990s introduce aluminum construction, electronic differentials, and improved safety. The 2000s deliver direct fuel injection, adaptive suspension, and dramatically improved refinement. By the 2010s, matrix LED headlights, digital cockpits, and predictive chassis systems become standard. Then comes the age of artificial intelligence. Not to replace the driver, but to make the driver even faster. Which brings us to 2030. At first glance, you know exactly what you're looking at. It's unmistakably Quattro. The proportions remain faithful to the original philosophy. Muscular wheel arches dominate the body. The roofline remains sleek and purposeful. The body sits low over massive wheels. The stance feels planted. Ready to launch. Every surface has evolved, but none of the character has disappeared. The front end introduces ultra-slim matrix LED headlights that flow naturally into Audi's modern interpretation of the legendary grille. Active cooling shutters open only when required. Every vent serves a purpose. Every line improves airflow. Nothing exists purely for decoration. Walk around to the rear and the transformation continues. A full-width OLED lighting signature stretches across the tailgate with illuminated Quattro lettering glowing proudly between the lights. A carefully sculpted diffuser and integrated active aero create enormous stability without compromising the clean design. This isn't retro. This is 50 years of evolution. Then comes the heart of the car. A 2.9-liter twin-turbocharged V6 supported by Audi's latest 48-volt mild hybrid system. Combined output: 600 horsepower. 800 Newton-meters of torque. Power is delivered through the latest evolution of the technology that made the Quattro famous. Audi's next-generation Quattro Ultra Intelligent all-wheel drive. But this isn't ordinary all-wheel drive. Hundreds of sensors constantly monitor tire grip, steering angle, suspension movement, weather conditions, road surface, GPS mapping and even traffic. Before the tires lose traction, the system already knows where power needs to go. It's almost like the car predicts the future. An 8-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission fires through gears almost instantly. The result? 0 to 100 km per hour. Just 3.2 seconds. Top speed? 280 km per hour, electronically limited. Yet speed alone has never defined the Quattro. Confidence has. This is a car equally comfortable attacking a mountain road, crossing a snow-covered alpine pass or cruising quietly across Europe at autobahn speeds. It's the definition of an all-weather performance machine. Step inside. And Audi continues pushing technology without sacrificing elegance. The dashboard becomes one continuous digital environment. A panoramic OLED display stretches naturally across the cabin while retaining physical controls for the functions drivers use most. The graphics can instantly transform. In comfort mode, they're clean and minimalist. Switch into RS mode, and the entire cockpit becomes performance-focused. Power distribution. Turbo boost. Suspension movement. Tire temperatures. Lap timing. Everything appears instantly. The augmented reality head-up display projects navigation, racing lines, braking points, and speed directly onto the windscreen. Information appears exactly where you need it, without taking your eyes off the road. Artificial intelligence quietly learns how you drive. Your preferred suspension settings. Climate preferences. Favorite driving routes. Even how aggressively you brake entering corners. The longer you own the Quattro, the more personal it becomes. Then there's predictive torque intelligence. Using cameras, radar, and high-definition mapping, the system scans the road ahead several hundred meters in advance. It knows when gravel is approaching, when rain begins, when snow appears, when the road surface changes. Rather than reacting, it prepares. This is exactly what the original Quattro always represented. Technology making drivers better, not replacing them. Perhaps that's why this alternate future feels so believable. Because Audi has always been a company willing to challenge convention. The original Quattro was considered impossible. Today, all-wheel drive performance cars are everywhere because Audi proved everyone else wrong. The 2030 Quattro simply continues that same philosophy. Never copying, always leading. Imagine parking this beside an original 1980 UR Quattro. 50 years separate them. Yet every enthusiast would immediately recognize the family resemblance. The flared arches. The planted stance. The purposeful design. The confidence. The engineering obsession. Everything that made the original legendary still lives here. Only sharper. Smarter. Faster. Perhaps Audi should never have retired the Quattro name. Because looking at this, it doesn't feel like fantasy. It feels inevitable. The rally legend. Perfected. So here's the question. If Audi announced tomorrow that this exact 2030 Quattro was entering production, would you choose it over an RS6? A Porsche 911 Turbo? A BMW M5? Or even a Nissan GT-R? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy seeing legendary cars evolve into the future, make sure you subscribe. Because the next automotive icon is already waiting for its second life.